Good morning, movers. Welcome back to Move Daily Fitness. My name's Tracy, and this workout today is going to be a beginner upper body strength workout. So all of those major muscles in the upper body, we've got back, chest, biceps, triceps, and shoulders. We're going to do 5 exercises per circuit. We'll repeat the circuit through twice and then move on to the next one. Within the circuit, your format will be 40 seconds of work and 15 seconds rest in between. Okay, you're going to require a variety of dumbbells for the workout today. Here are the ones that I have used. Of course, these are just for reference, and this is what I might suggest a beginner use, okay? Lift within your own abilities. I'll also use a bench, but if you don't have one, I'll show you a modification for that. All right, we'll start with a warm up and end with a cool down. And don't forget, we do have our How to Build Muscle as You Age 4.0. This is a great program if you want some structure in your workouts. You're not just going to YouTube and willy-nilly choosing a workout. You're actually following a plan to help you increase lean muscle. All right, you can click or tap the card at the top of the screen or check in the description below for that. Are you ready to move daily with this workout? Me too. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna hit strength on the watch. Let's warm things up. Side to side tap right here. And let's draw the elbows back. Right there. Just getting the chest warmed up and increasing blood flow a little bit. That's important. You could do 5 minutes on a treadmill if you want, or an elliptical. I'm just gonna do this. Multiple movements to warm up the upper body. Reach across right here and switch. Okay, overhead reach, stretch. Good, and heel dig. Push those hands out. High knee here, reach your hands up. And butt kick with a punch right there. Okay, slowing things down, we'll hinge forward at the hips. One arm is down, one is up. You could rest that on your knee if you need. Just stretching through that pec and your bicep. Switch sides and reach. Good, and switch, reach. One more here. Nice, round up. Shoulder circles here. Switch direction. Good. One hand behind the head, one behind the back, and just draw your elbows back for a second. Big stretch and switch. A lot of us are just waking up this morning, so we just want to warm the body up before we grab those weights. Switch sides. And switch. Good, and a torso turn here. Draw your elbow across. Very nice. All right, take a look at the screen. As I said, 5 exercises in a row. Repeat twice, and then we'll move on to the next circuit. Let's start with back. I want you to hinge forward on something right here, okay? I'll call halfway, we'll switch hands. I'm gonna hold a 12 to start with and warming things up. So hinging forward, back is flat, and we row right there. Good. As I said, I'll call halfway and we'll switch hands. Pulling that elbow up toward the ceiling here. And switch your side and row. Okay, let's go into a chest press. I'm gonna grab that other 12. You can go on your back, on the ground, or lie on a Swiss ball or a bench. I'm gonna use my bench. We're out to the side and pushing over the chest. Here we go. And we push, good. Nice control on the down. And just take a look at your wrists. Make sure they're locked and neutral. You don't want them bent back. Okay. If you're on the ground, don't bounce your elbows off the ground. Just come down to a hover position and press. And if you're on a bench, you can come down slightly below that 90 degrees if you'd like, or stop at 90. Both are good. Dipping a little lower gives a bit more of a stretch in the chest. All right, make your way to standing. We're gonna go into biceps and into a pinwheel curl. Okay, we're crossing in front of the body here, and we'll alternate sides. I'll stick with these 12s, shoulders low and back, and up, good. That's it. Try to keep your torso facing the front. Set those down for triceps. We'll do an overhead extension. I'm gonna hold 2 5s. So you can hold them separate here or together and touching here. We're gonna come all the way back and then extend to the top. So you're low and up. That's it, my knees are soft. You could stagger your stance as well, though, if that feels more comfortable for you. You could also sit. Okay, we're working the triceps, back of the arm right here. And we're extending and lengthening the tricep, then contracting, but don't lock your arms out at the top of the lift. Okay, just keep a little bit of softness in the elbow there. And we'll go into some lateral raises here. We're gonna do a front lateral combo. I'll hold lighter weights, 3 pounds. 1 to the front, 1 to the side, and then you'll switch to the other side. All right, so push and up, good. Again, torso faces the front. There's no twisting. And you've got a little softness in your knees so you're not pushing your hips forward to try and get the weight up. If you have to do that, lighten your weight. Okay, let's hit round 2. Now, if you feel like you could have lifted heavier, this is your chance to do that. Back to your 1-arm row. I'll stick with the 12 pounds and I will call half. Hinge at your hips, back is flat, and we pull up. All right, and switching arms and row here. You're pulling between your chest and your hip. Grabbing that other 12 back onto your back for chest press or onto the floor or a Swiss ball. Okay, remember we're pushing over the chest. So get those dumbbells ready and push here, up. Now I always bring my elbows slightly in, so like a little bit closer to my body, so that that dumbbell's kind of like on a diagonal, just slightly. It's a little easier on your shoulder than right out to the side. Nice. Up you get, and going into the pinwheel curl. You can lighten if you need. We're rolling the shoulders back, knees are soft, palms face up, and you're crossing the body, working the peak of the bicep. Alternate, good, and up. Think of squeezing the bicep at the top. Squeeze, that's it. Moving into triceps. I'll hold two 5-pound dumbbells here for the tricep overhead extension. Okay, I'll hold my dumbbells together, but of course you could separate yours if you'd like. All the way back and up. Remember, you could stagger stance here if that feels better on your back. Doing well, about 15 seconds left here. Stay in the pocket. All right, now finishing off this circuit with the front lateral combo. I'll stick with the 5s, but feel free to lighten. 2s or 3s might work well here. Roll the shoulders low and back. Soften the knees. Here we go. Push, push. Remember, torso stays facing the front. Very nice. Okay, set those down, grab some water. That's the circuit for you. We've got another 5 different exercises coming up next, so pause if you need a longer break. Otherwise, check out this screen. That's what's coming up. Okay, we're back to back, but this time we're gonna do a C sweep. So instead of drawing that dumbbell straight up, you're gonna start forward and you're gonna bring it to the hip, sort of creating a semicircle here, all right? I'll call half, I'll have a 12. So up to the hip and long, hip and long. Good, we're hitting a little bit more of the long back muscle here or your lat. Of course, a little bit of middle back or rhomboid here still as well, but just a variation of the row. Switching sides and to the hip in a C motion, but don't swing the dumbbell. So it dead stop and then hit your row. Okay, very nice. Going into a cross body raise. 5-pound dumbbells here, knees are soft. You're gonna cross the body, flexing that pec minor here, okay? The front chest, shoulders back. So we cross and switch, up, cross and switch. You have a softness in the elbow, and we're squeezing that pec at the top. Nice, moving into your biceps, we'll do a palms up bicep curl. So maybe 8s, 5s, 10s, I'll use 10s here. Palms face the ceiling, out to the side slightly, and we're gonna hit the full curl there. So all the way up and all the way down, full range of motion. Okay, we're going into a straight arm kickback for your triceps. Go really light on this one, so maybe 2s or 3s. We're gonna hinge forward at the hips, palms face the ceiling, and a little pulse right back here. Okay, up, little pulse, arms are straight. So targeting the triceps, you do hit a little bit of back shoulder here to stabilize that arm and keep the dumbbell up. But you'll feel it in the triceps shortly. We're halfway. If you need a back break, stand and stretch, and then join me when you can. Very good. And into shoulders. We'll do a single double or overhead press. So one at a time, each side, and then we'll hit both. I'll stick with the 3s on round 1. Knees are soft. Up, other side, and both together. Good. Again, we can have slightly in front of that lateral plane here. So my elbows are brought in just a bit. Also, if you feel like this is challenging for you and you want to do a neutral grip, where your palms are facing. Instead, it's slightly easier on the shoulder if you need, okay? All right, let's hit that all again. One more round here. Moving into our C sweep again. Hinging forward at your hips. Remember, I'm holding 12. We're gonna draw it up to the hip area this time. So we sweep, pause at the top, and long. Up. Good. Switching the arms and row. You want to make sure your back is nice and flat, that you're not rounding in your upper shoulder blades. Stick your chest out. Good. Let's go into the cross body raise. Okay, 5s, 3s, 8s. I think I'll go with 8s. Crossing the body, working the pec muscle. And you're up and slow, up and slow. Nice control here. Okay, good. Let's go to biceps. I'm gonna grab those 10s again for my bicep curl. And we'll turn those arms just slightly out. Soften the knees, shoulders back. Full range of motion here, all the way up and down. So you wanna lengthen through that bicep at the bottom. Into your tricep, that's the kickback, the straight arm kickback. So light, because you are doing an isometric contraction here. That means we're holding tension in the muscle for an extended period. Hinge, pulse right here. You're doing well, you're halfway if you need a little back break. Feeling that now. Burn, burn. Nice. And finishing this circuit with our shoulders, our shoulder press. I'm gonna go up to 5 pounds. Single, single, both together, okay? Starting positions here, elbows in slightly. One, other side. Now both right here, and push. Don't look up at your dumbbells, okay? Keep the neck neutral. Just look at me, and I'll look at you. Hey. 10 more seconds here. Make sure you're softening the knees so you don't throw those hips forward. It's getting harder. Push, and there we go. You've got one more circuit, folks, so take a little water break. Take a look at the screen. That's what's coming up next. We're gonna do some of it down on the ground, so join me down there in just a moment. All right, I'm gonna take my lighter weights down to the ground. I've got my 3s and my 5s. We're gonna start with a dumbbell pullover, and I'll hold 3-pound dumbbells. All right, palms face each other, slow on the descent. So you're slow, 2, 3, and up. Slow, 2, 3, and up. Good. You don't want to go too heavy here, especially if you're not used to this exercise, and in fact, you could eliminate the weights if you want. Now, to make this a little bit more challenging, you could put those knees at 90 degrees here. That's it. Push the small of your back into the ground. Okay, let's go into our chest fly, and I'm gonna switch to 5-pound dumbbells here. We're gonna round the arms, kind of like we're hugging a tree, all right? We're gonna go nice and slow on the descent, and then a faster pace up. So you're slow, 2, 3, and squeeze. Slow, 2, 3, and squeeze. Try to keep those arms rounded the whole time. We are going to make our way back up to a seated position shortly here, or standing if you don't have a chair. All right. Into your hammer curl for biceps. What can you hit? I'm gonna grab my 10s. You could stand, you could sit. I'm gonna sit at the edge of my bench here. Nice and tall, shoulders back, and we're straight up and down for our hammer curl here. Good, now we're working the long head of the bicep, so slightly different muscle than our other bicep exercises have been. Typically, you're a little bit stronger in this position than when your palms are up facing the ceiling. Lying down on your back for tricep extension, you could go on the floor, grab lighter weights if you need. I'll stick with the 10s here. Palms face each other and we're just bending back at the elbow here, okay? And pressing up. So you're slow, 2, 3, and push. Slow, 2, 3, and push. All right, make your way to standing. We're gonna go into a high pull for shoulders, maybe switching to 8 pounds. Okay, I'll do again that single, single, double. Shoulders low and back. So up, other side. Now both together here. Good, so working that front shoulder predominantly here. And up, a little bit of your lateral or middle shoulder hits on this one as well. Okay, let's repeat that whole circuit. We're gonna go back to our dumbbell pullover with lighter weights, 3s, 2s, 3s, 5s, somewhere in that range. I'll hold 5s this time, nice and slow on the descent. Slow, 2, 3, and pull. Try to keep the small of your back pressed into the ground. Very good, and into that chest fly, working chest muscles. So again, we want to be rounded, okay, like you're hugging a beach ball or a tree. Stay over the chest as well. And you open 2, 3, and squeeze. Nice. Let's get into our hammer curl, seated position or standing. All right, I'm gonna sit on the edge of my bench. I'll stick with these 10s, knees together, shoulders back. Don't swing at the bottom. All the way up and down. All right, lying down for your tricep extension. You can go lighter, 5s or 8s. I'll stick with the 10s here. Palms face each other. Slow on your descent, then quick on the up. Slow, 2, 3, and press. Okay, nice. Let's go into that single, double high pull for shoulders. I guess I'll stick with the 10s here. Okay, roll your shoulders back, one side, other side, both together. Last exercise, everyone. Let's stay in the pocket and stay strong here. Over halfway, almost there, folks. Make sure you stay for a stretch if you can. We'll lengthen through all of these upper body muscles that we've just contracted and worked. All right, last 3, 2, 1 and done, and you have moved daily in your upper body strength workout. Nice work, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the workout, and stay for a stretch if you can. Nice work, everyone. Let's start with the chest stretch. Onto the wall, lift that arm up on the diagonal and draw your body toward your wall. This is such a good stretch, and boy, oh boy, do I ever feel that. I just want to hold that there for a few seconds. We need to stretch those pecs, folks. So many of us are tight in that area and weak in the back. Switch sides. And that is what's going to cause that rounding in the upper shoulder blades. So don't let it happen to you. It is preventable for the most part. I know a lot of slight women can begin to get that dowager's hump because the bones just bend. I think if you're prone to osteoporosis or osteopenia, then it can happen even more readily. So it's even more imperative that you strength train around through the back here so that you can make those bones strong. Even if you can't jump and hop, the mechanical tension from lifting heavier weights pulls the muscle from the bone. And that's exactly what stimulates bone mineral density, is when the muscle is pulling from the bone when you lift heavy things, right? Let's put the hands behind the back, stretch and drop those shoulders, tilt your neck to one side. Anyway, I hope that in your brain you're like, this isn't just for aesthetics anymore, switch sides. I mean, it never was. But when you're younger, it's like, that's important to us, right? It's crucial. It's maybe more important for a lot of us. But when you get older, you recognize how crucial it is, up and over with the tricep stretch, that you maintain your strength, stability, muscle mass, bone density, because you don't want your life to end prematurely. I mean, that's just a given. Switch sides. My mom was recently diagnosed with kidney cancer, which is the worst. I mean, I guess it's not the worst, but it's not good. We didn't love hearing that news, of course. But it's just isolated to one kidney, which is good. Bring the arm across here. So they'll remove that kidney. But I just think about how much better her recovery is going to be because she goes to the gym every day. She walks like 10,000 steps a day. She's 78, switch sides. Like, she's killing it in terms of her health. Good nutrition, lots of beans, greens, proteins. Like, she's just really doing well, except for that. So that sucks. But I know the doctor did say sometimes, like, she's got genetic predisposition to high blood pressure, and sometimes there is a correlation between that renal cancer, renal carcinoma, arms back, thumbs down, and high blood pressure. So, I mean, you know, you do all the things, you're thinking you're doing all the things right, and all you can do is really set yourself up for the best case scenario. Everything else is like you know, you got to work with what you've got, right? Anyway, I'm hoping that it all goes well and that she does well. I'm sure she will. Thanks for joining, everyone. Go move daily in your wellness and nutrition. We'll see you all in the next workout.